Welcome to Daddy's house, even though we are in the car.
Hello family. Welcome to Daddy's house, home of holistic learning, healing, living, and succeeding. I'm Jalea, a multifaceted, super talented, stay-at-home, homeschooling, single Leo mother. I'd like to extend the warmest welcome to my new guests, and for returning guests, I am so glad to see you. Special thank you and shout out for returning after I promised to be back, but still went on another hiatus. A long one. I really truly feel like it's my time now and I'm ready to just do this full throttle. The astrological new year just passed and I'm feeling extremely confident that this is my year, that I'm gonna get everything going. All my ducks, well, not all of them, but a lot of them, enough of them are in a row for me to feel comfortable doing so. And I actually just went through another major breakthrough. For those of you who watched the last video that I posted, I spoke a little bit about a heart chakra breakthrough that I made it through. And I just recently had another one on my 2-week vacation to Florida. So I just figured I'd hop on here and give you a little breakdown, synopsis of what I've been up to the last, I'll say since the beginning of the year, I guess. I can tell you I got a job at the beginning of the year. I was working at the gym. I started the first week of January, but then it just wasn't the vibe. And so I quit just in time to be able to take a road trip down to Florida for my niece's first birthday. It was such a cute party. My sister Najla did Astro World. She did the most and we all thoroughly enjoyed it. She had the sweets, the decorations. We all had to help. I don't know. I guess we enjoyed that part too, but we did everything. We made the backdrop, which we were very nervous about. She had a little merch table with tie-dye shirts and cups. There was balloons, flowers everywhere. Like that little ring bottle game. I don't know, they have at carnivals, little bounce house. Look at her little face down there. How cute is she? Like, it was a really good time. This party, actually, much like the rest of my trip to Florida, started out really great, really nice, really pleasant, and then just ended not so great, not so nice, and not so pleasant. And it really just, I think it set the tone for the rest of my trip. I had a little spat with my mother at the end of the party. We kind of, I don't know, we disagreed on some things, and my family, they like to get to talking shit, so when they do that, I get a little rowdy. That blew over kind of easily though, and I really did enjoy. My sister Brianna was there with my other niece Milani, who I haven't seen in ages and I missed terribly. Nairobi and Wolfgang played together so beautifully. It was also my mother's birthday. We celebrated. Nairobi and my mother were born on the same day. Got to spend a little bit of time with my other niece Silin. It was pretty cool from that standpoint, except me and my mother did have a few more issues just because I brought my cats. I don't know if you noticed in the beginning, I did have my cats on the road trip with me. Now, my mother is not an animal person in general, but she especially didn't want the cats there, I guess, because she didn't want them to mess up her couch or any of her furniture. But they have been trying to convince me to move to Florida, saying that it would be what's best for me and Wolfgang, and I was really considering it. Like, actually, this trip was the trial run for me to decide whether I wanted to move there or stay where I am. And just the way she treated me, and I don't know, I think they expected me to give up the cats if I were to move there, which is just a little irrational to me. I felt like though she was acting as if her couches were more valuable than my presence, which did hurt my feelings a little bit, and I just wasn't feeling. So that was sign number one. A, that I shouldn't be moving to Florida, and B, there's something to be learned here. And then I got into, well, I didn't really get into a little tiff with my sister. I just experienced something that I didn't really like and agree with. That was also another, like, you know, teaching moment for me. As I said, I went out there for my niece's Nairobi's first birthday. So as you could probably assume, my nieces and just children in general are very special to me. I'm a caregiver. I used to be a substitute teacher. Like, I always take the babies. It's what I enjoy doing. And so this day was one of our last days in town, and I wanted to take the kids to enjoy a nice day out at like the beach or Lithia Springs or whatever. We ended up at the pool, but my sister Najla said that she didn't trust me with the baby near a large body of water. She says it's not personal, but I took great offense to it just because I am, first of all, you know, a major caregiver in my family. I take care of a lot of children in my family, and also we're family. And also, she's only 6 months older than I am. So, you know, if you're going to trust anybody with your kid, it should be me. If you're going to trust anybody, it should be me, in my opinion, anyways. And it hurts that you don't. So there's that. And I don't know what was happening on this day, but nothing was the same afterwards. On the same day, it was St. Patrick's Day, I went out for drinks with my bestie of 17 years, Gina. Here she is. And aside from our attempt at Weeki Wachee a few days prior, I hadn't really seen Gina in a few years. And before I got to Florida, I was really contemplating like where our relationship stood. I had decided that I love her unconditionally, and, you know, no matter what I was concerned about or anything, I still loved her. She is still part of my tribe. And while we're here, and I'm not editing the order of these photos, this was our trip to Weeki Wachee, which didn't turn out quite like we imagined, but we did see a dolphin, so there are really no complaints to be heard from me. So firstly, we made some planning errors and didn't really budget our night out well. So we ended up calling her little boo thing at the time to come and join us, so, you know, he can help alleviate some of those issues. Now, I feel like you kind of have to hear the story of the whole night and how it played out to fully understand. Just know that I got kicked out of a bar. I tried to throw a motorcycle at security, and Gina tried to yoke me up 3 times. The problem began when her boo thing, we finally got to the club. I was starting to enjoy myself, and then he all of a sudden wanted to leave, and the Uber was outside, so I was annoyed. And then I was salty because she was annoyed that I didn't want to leave with him. In my mind, I'm like, what are you mad for? Like, you're here with me, let's have a good time. And then she started threatening to leave me at the bar that we were at by myself, not near my car, which is a big no-no for me. Please do not act like you're trying to abandon me. Especially, I've done a lot of research on like sex trafficking and all this. I know how dangerous the world actually is. So if you think that we're coming together and you're leaving without me, you got another thing coming. You are not leaving without a fight, that's for sure. So I will say, by the end of the night, I was wilding, but I really don't care. Now, in more positive news, I did get some good bonding time in with my youngest sister, Ram Frank. So that I am grateful for. All in all, the trip was, I'd say, equally as pleasant as it was unpleasant, and I really can't complain. Now, the lessons and revelations I've had because of these instances have all been centered around the heart chakra, the sacred heart chakra more specifically, and based around unconditional love, really, with subtext in trust and respect. I feel like in all these circumstances, I noticed a little bit of lack of trust in me, which I think is kind of unconstituted, and then also a little bit of lack of respect for me, which obviously I didn't appreciate. So then I have to think about, you know, the life that I'm manifesting and the relationships I want to have in my life from here on out, and they all involve, you know, a great deal of trust and respect. So the fact that these relationships don't quite have them, I have to figure out how to handle them, because these are people that I love and I do appreciate our relationships, and I don't feel like I have to, you know, just end them. But I do have to figure out how to love them unconditionally, but in a way that doesn't disrupt my energy. So needless to say, I had a lot to think about on my drive home, which I love road trips for. I like that you get to drive past all the stuff and be alone with that. But this drive back home was treacherous. Oh my God, it was awful. I think the Matrix was really trying to swallow me up with that one. There were so many cars in the emergency lane, a few actual accidents causing traffic. There was a car with the roof on fire. I got a speeding ticket. Time didn't move, but I made it home. I did make it home. And I did have to go to court for a different traffic accident as soon as I got back. But then on Thursday, the Thursday I got back was the spring equinox, and I had my second annual celebration. I am starting a new tradition within my family to eventually get out of celebrating the white men holidays such as Thanksgiving and Christmas and get into I still wanted something for us, because I do like the sentiment behind the holidays and appreciating my loved ones such as Tamika and my cousin that came and my friend Simone and my grandmother that came. And I really just got to take a second and appreciate the relationships and bonds that I've formed out here, which are a little more along the lines of what I'm looking for in the future. It was the perfect way to start the new year. Now it's all about living with intention and making my dreams come true. How about you? Feel free to comment below and let me know what you've been up to. Like the video if you enjoyed any single part of it, even if it was just a second. And definitely don't forget to subscribe, family. Love you a lot. See you later.